Right, so in this one, I'm going to be doing something pretty stupid, but we'll get into that in a second. Anyways, hello, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival, where, like I said, we're gonna do something pretty stupid today. But first, I want to give a little bit of a catch-up on what happened between episodes. First things first, if we pop into here, I want to say that, look, I moved the storage system. It's in here now. And I think whenever I do make a permanent storage system, this is going to be the kind of sorting system I use, only on a bigger scale. Because it's nice. I'm not gonna get through it all. I also went in and added a second floor to the villager hall because I realized how good wool is for emeralds. And with that, I've also been stockpiling golden carrots and ender pearls. So I don't run out. And the last major thing I did was I made this pathway a lot nicer. I just kind of locked in because I didn't have anything else to do one day. And this is kind of how I want all the paths to end up feeling. I really like this little puddle. I like the rocks, I like the bushes. I think everything is just right. It feels so pleasant. Feels like you're just walking through a park, and I really love that. Also, I'd like to say that the sulfur farm is doing pretty well. It's slow, obviously, but it's putting in some work. I still love the building. One farm that was not putting in the work, however, was the hive compound. I realized that the bees were escaping through these little tunnels, which that was part of the design. You know, they would go up and pollinate up there, but they would get out and then they wouldn't be able to pathfind back in, and so they would just get lost. So I went in, I covered those up, I also blocked this off so they can't get through here. And I believe we're at maximum capacity again on the bees. I have been kind of just checking up on this often. This minecart likes to get stuck, but it seems right now we're doing fine. Now, you were promised that I was going to be doing some dumb stuff in this episode, and that is true. Which is why we are heading over to the nether right now. I have a history of things going wrong there. Then again though, who doesn't? What you'll see is that I've basically finished the nether hub, which is a long process. I hated every step of it. This thing gave me so much trouble. It's so imperfect. There's so many little just things not lining up the way they should. Mainly on the other side, I'll show you that. Just got like so many little slants and stuff. I think from the inside you might be able to see just like the weirdness of the it's bad. Right? Even worse though is the ghasts that keep spawning. Because ghasts keep spawning everywhere around here. I tried to light up the torches. I don't know if torches actually affect ghast spawns though. But you can just see basically all of this fire is from a ghast fireball. And I don't like that. I want to end the ghasts. Which is where the stupid thing is. I would like to cover this entire area of the nether with glass to prevent mob spawns. But I want it to look pretty. That's a requirement for me. Right? And so the plan is to replace it with little patterns underneath. And by it I mean the netherrack, of course. For this though, we do have to travel all the way to a desert. Now you may be thinking that this isn't really too dumb. But the dumbness is that I want to use wool. I want to use highly flammable blocks in the nether. And I know I'm going to have to be fighting ghasts the whole time. Wait, no, this is what I want. It's probably going to be very frustrating. End of the day, the nether is going to look a lot better. And I kind of have some ideas tossing around in my brain. And we're going to need a lot of sand for glass, and we're going to need a lot of sand for sandstone. Now, since the world reset, I've done a lot of tree chopping here. And I do have about 9 stacks of mangrove logs now. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for the sand, because I believe if I go that way a little bit, I will end up in a desert. And if you're worried about me finding my way back to the portal, it's okay. It's okay. I'll make it home. Don't worry. I've got this. Look at that fellow. Really though, I don't really have anything else to contribute right now. I'm just gonna get to it. I think that's the move. So I got that taken care of. It's actually the next day right now. And honestly, I think we're probably just gonna go into another time lapse. I mean, I got all the items here. Or minus the glass. The glass is still in the furnace. But I don't really feel like doing a whole lot of like intense recording today. And I played Pokemon Go for probably like 6 hours. I'm not ashamed. But I think that we're just gonna kind of time lapse this one out. So yeah, pretty quickly it became apparent how long this is going to take whenever I had to actually clear out the netherrack. I went into flattening the whole thing to make it easier to place the glass and stuff, because I still want this to be easily traversable. And I realized just how painful it was to clear such a big space, even with efficiency 5 on netherrack. And the ghasts were just absolutely horrendous. I hate them. They're the reason that we're doing this. I had to repair my pickaxe about 3 times just from clearing the netherrack. Anyways, I move on eventually and I start working on the actual pattern. And pretty quickly I think you can tell what I'm going for with the pattern. I don't know if it's on screen yet. And I did have to... Well, I had to get more sandstone, but then I realized I can use normal sandstone since it's just the top texture. And I think I'm going to go in and texture wool at the end. You know, I'm going to be a little bit smart about this. I'm liking where it's shaping up. I'm not doing this all at once. There's going to be a cut and it's just going to be finished. But near the end of the time lapse, you are going to see where things did go wrong. It was roughly here that I realized how much of this episode is going to be done through time lapse. Now, I do need to apologize right from the bat and say that I don't know how this is going to come out. I've never really done something like this, and I'm still learning this mod. I don't know if I can like fuse together time lapses. Because man, this was a big process. This video, I'm doing this last actually, but this video took most of, I think, the 13 days to record. It's really taking its time. I've had to go back and forth with the desert to get materials, and I'll show you how I got the glass at the end. I also had some real life factors playing a role, you know. Mainly, I've been kind of, you know, this summer I've kind of been a little bit of a slump. I had some personal things going on that kind of put me in a rough place. And so I've been trying to just like find reasons to go out, but it's like 1,000,000,000 degrees outside, and so I can't just hang around outside. And I am broke. I'm leaving for college this fall, and you know, it's really hard to find temporary hiring for just like a month and a half. And so I could not get a job, meaning that I have spent so much time just cooped up at home. And so one of the things that did take, well, that kind of put this on the back burner, is I was playing Pokemon Go. There's a lot of like local communities where I am for it, and so it's just a really nice way to get out and, you know, just to have some social interaction. And you know, you can make fun of me all you want, but I'm done being ashamed. I'm breaking my silence about it, okay? I had a great time at GoFest 2026. 10 years, I've been there the whole time. Now, this kind of like stream of consciousness time-lapse thing, like I said, it is really new to me. I'm just trying to like think of things that I had going on in my brain while I was working on this. One of those that I think is a really big one is that for a lot of, you know, I've talked about it before, whenever I'm making a building and I'm time-lapsing it, I usually have something else going on. Like I'm listening to music, or I'm like podcasts or YouTube videos that are mostly sound. Like lots of stories, a lot of commentary. Now, during this one, what I chose for a good chunk of it was to watch Mary Poppins, a stage performance of it. That's something that really got me in the brain, you know? Mary Poppins was the first live production that I ever saw. I saw it while I was in first grade on a field trip. And, you know, after rewatching it, I realized just how much of my personality was created by that trip. It was a field trip to the local high school, and the kind of wonder that comes in it, and the, you know, the spoonful of sugar mentality, and all these different things. Mary Poppins, the really cool thing about her is that she is a trickster god, or goddess, who is obsessed with order. In the play, she defeats an evil nanny. Like, this is some mythological stuff, man. Looking back, like after, you know, seeing it again, I do realize that it's where a lot of kind of my idea of like pure wonder comes from. Because a lot of it is the ability to see the world through a child's eyes. You know, she comes with the changing wind. She floats in on an umbrella. It's this idea that things just work because they look like they should. You know, anything can happen if you let it. That's a quote from the woman herself. And look, going forwards with this world, I kind of want to capture that idea of wonder, just like taking things and adding a little bit more to them, you know? Just very, very slight whimsy. Yeah, I'm not gonna stray away from like the more whimsical side of it. But you get what I'm saying. And Chim Chim Cheree is the best song in the musical. Anyways, this is not a live show review. This is a Minecraft video. So this pattern, I went for very floral. I recorded the last bit of time-lapse audio before this, so sorry if I repeat myself. It's very floral. I wanted to go for like grandma couch as the vibe, and I think I really captured exactly what I was going for. I'm not entirely sure about the shading and highlights. I wish I'd done a little bit more, but you win some, you lose some. It was such a pain working around the ghasts that just kept attacking me, and I kept having these reminders of why I was doing this. Why? What is the purpose? It's to end the pain I went through doing it. It took so long. I'm sorry, this took so long. I did the math from how much sandstone I mined. Just pure sandstone mined. This isn't counting what I already had or what I crafted from sand. I believe the total came out to about 80 stacks. And I used all that in glass and more. I think probably in the end I ended up using like 110, 120 stacks? I don't know. I covered up the sandstone, and then I also, you know, a few stacks more because of the patterning. And then there was also just my inventory full because I had to put in the walls. Such a pain, man. Such a pain. The good thing, right? The good thing about all of this is it's safe. This is all in the name of safety. All for comfort. And it kind of does give me a bit more inspiration for this world, which is something that I've been struggling with, is being inspired to play on this world. Because everything's kind of, you're so tightly packed that it's hard to just see a space and go, oh, I know what to put there. Or to fill in gaps between things, because there's not big gaps. Here I was able to just work in a big space, and now it's like, oh, now I want to kind of do the walls. Now I want to like add another room next to this, you know. It's just not really worrying about making everything filled, and also not really worrying as much about everything looking good as I do in the overworld. Because that's one of my big things. That's why I haven't gone back to the hardcore world yet. That enchanting tower looks so bad that it just kills my motivation to touch this game. Because it's like, well, I'm not going to make anything good. I'm just going to make another one of those. And it is rough, you know. Other than that, though, I have in my head what I'm doing for the next video figured out. So there's that. And I'm trying not to touch into any of those topics. So I do think that's going to be the end of the time lapse. Awesome. With that massive process, it's done. I have not done a roof. What? I haven't done a ceiling. And I haven't done walls. And that's because I don't want to do that right now. I want to get this video out. It's been almost 2 weeks, I think. I think the zombies, right? The pigmen. I think they can still spawn up there. Because they are. But as long as they don't come over here into my perfect world, I'm fine. I've also gated off this little tunnel. Oh! Okay. I'm gonna need to go in and put glass on the floor there, because these ghouls are still showing up. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to go in and move all the mud down a block, and then put in black glass. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be annoying. I'm gonna hate it, but it needs to be done. Today's comment of the day comes from Fun Times with Chico, who says, "You ever tried reading audiobooks or things like that? Your voice is pretty soft and calm. Almost made me fall asleep." I've definitely considered it. It's been something that I've kind of wanted to get into for a really long time, but I just don't know how. Like, do I have to audition for that? I don't know. Who knows? If you know, tell me. One of the things that really helped throughout this process, right, and we can come over here, I've got the ender pearl chest full, is I put in some new villagers, because the cool thing about a librarian is you can buy glass. And so I've just been stocking up on glass to the point where I moved my glass chest separately. Because wait, no, I'd already done that. Sorry. With that though, thank you so much for watching another episode of Minecraft Survival. I'm gonna try to have this one up as quickly as I possibly can. So sorry about how long it's been. Anyways, as usual, my socials are in the description. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment if you got something to say, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and that'll be it for now. I have something planned for the next one. Anyways, hope to see you then. Bye bye.